My- Myself Dinesh Kumar. Today I am presenting SLIL, the Stellar Liquidity Intelligence Layer. SLIL is a predictive infrastructure layer designed to improve payment reliability on the Stellar network. This project focuses on infrastructure intelligence, not another wallet or payment app. What you say? Stellar is fast, low cost, and global. It has path payments, a built-in DEX, anchors, and fiat assets. Yet in real usage, payments still fail, especially in cross-border corridors. User experience, failed transaction slippage, and unpredictable behavior. The key issue is not the protocol itself, it's how liquidity behaves in real time. Stellar is not a static system, it's a living economic network. Liquidity changes constantly, anchors act independently, order books shift faster than settlement. However, current pathfinding only looks at the present moment. This creates a gap between what looks cheap and what actually succeeds. To solve this, we built the Stellar Liquidity Intelligence Layer. This SLIL is a read-only off-chain infrastructure service. It observes the Stellar network models, it acts as a dynamic economic graph, and recommends reliable payment paths, not just the cheapest ones. SLIL does not custody funds, does not sign transactions, and does not modify Stellar code. Here's how SLIL fits into the Stellar ecosystem. We read live data from the Horizon APIs, process it through an intelligence pipeline, and expose recommendation via a simple API. Wallet tabs or dashboards can consume this intelligence, but SLIL itself never touches user funds. This means we improve Stellar without changing the protocol. SLIL operates SLIL operates through six deterministic phases. First, we observe the network by collecting order books, dates, payment, and ledger data. Second, we extract economic signals like liquidity depth, spread, volatility, and failure rates. Third, we construct a dynamic graph where assets and anchors are nodes and conversation paths are or edges. Fourth, each path receives a reliability score based on its likelihood of success. Fifth, we analyze temporal stability to avoid paths that degrade quickly. Finally, we generate corridor-aware recommendation for each from-to-node request. SLIL observes all stellar assets, but it does not treat them equally. Assets are classified by economic quality from systematic assets like XLM and USDC to anchor back the fiat assets to illiquid or unsafe tokens. Only safe high-quality assets are recommended, but unsafe assets are still shown transparently. This prevents misleading or dangerous routing decisions. Instead of raw JSON or technical output, SLIL presents it in a human-friendly format. User sees a best route with a reliability score, risky alternatives with warnings, unsupported assets with reasons, and a corridor health summary. This translates complex infrastructure intelligence into clear, actionable insight. Now let's see SLIL in action. Welcome to Stellar Liquidity Intelligence. What you are seeing now is a time-stamped snapshot of the Stellar liquidity graph. The snapshot represents the network at a specific moment in time, captured directly from the horizon data. In this view, each node represents an asset or anchor, and each edge represents a possible conversion path between them. Nodes are placed evenly. Nodes are placed evenly around a circle to avoid bias to make the overall topology easy to read. Edges are drawn as carved paths with a slight outward offset, which helps that dense connections remain visible even in highly connected regions. This particular snapshot contains 142 nodes and 523 edges, showing the real scale and complexity of the network. When I hover over a node, its size increases and its edges are also highlighted, allowing us to quickly taste local relationship. The view supports zooming and panning, so even very large snapshot can be explored interactively. This graph is not decorative, it is a foundation of skills intelligence. SLIL produces intelligence through 6 phases, as I said in the presentation phase. First, SLIL continuously reads horizontal APIs, capturing order books, trades, payments, and ledger activity as time-stamped snapshot. Second, the raw data is converted into economical signals such as liquidity depth, bid-ask spread, volatility, and historical failure rates. At this stage, blockchain data becomes measurable economics. Third, the signals are embedded into a dynamic graph. Assets and anchors became nodes, and conversation path became edges weighted by multidimensional economic signals. This is where the circular graph you saw earlier is constructed. Fourth, each possible path is assigned a reliability score, a measure of how likely it is to succeed, not just how cheap it is. Fifth, SLIL analyzes how paths behave over time, identifying routes that may degrade shortly after submission. This avoids routes that look good now but fail moments later. Finally, SLIL generates recommendation per corridor, filtering and ranking paths for each from to request, or honestly reporting when no safe route exists. Let's get into the diagnostic page. We can give the USDC as a firm asset and give XLM as a true asset, and we paste the run pipeline. Now the full pipeline is listed. This is a full pipeline summary view of SLIL. It shows the complete execution of the intelligent pipeline phase by phase. Phase 1, snapshot. 4 kinds: trades, order books, payment, ledgers. Phase 1 is a network observation layer. SLIL pulls 4 different kinds of real scalar data from horizon: trade, order books, payments, and ledger activity. Each category has 3 time-stamped snapshot files, which means the system is observing the network over time and not just at a single moment. This snapshot are stored so the pipeline can be replayed, altered, or analyzed historically. This proves real data ingestion, not mock inputs. This is the ledger data. This is the order book data which generated, and this is the payment data, and this is the trade data. And we can also verify the ledger data globally by pressing this link. Yeah, you can see the ledger ID, paging token, hash, previous hash, frequent hash, and the total coins, fees pool, base fees, max transactions, set size, protocol ocean, header, etc. And you can also check the operations and the transactions. Phase 2. It shows signals as 24. In phase 2, SLIL converts raw blockchain data into economic signals. From the snapshot, it computes indicators like liquidity depth, bid-ask spread, volatility, trade frequency, and historical failure rates. In this run, 24 distinct economic signals were extracted. This is where blockchain data becomes measurable economics. Phase 3. It's mainly a graph construction phase. It shows nodes as 4 and the edges as 10. Phase 3 builds a dynamic economic graph. Here, SLIL models assets and anchors as nodes and conversation paths as edges. In the snapshot, the graph contains 4 nodes and 10 possible conversation edges. This graph is the same structure visualized in the circular graph view shown earlier. Stellar is now represented as a living network, not isolated paths. The phase 4 still evaluates each possible path in the graph. Each path receives a reliability score, which measures how likely the path is to succeed based on liquidity, stability, and past failures. In this time, 4 candidate paths were scored. This moves beyond cheapest path to most reliable path. The phase 5 looks at how paths behave over time. SLIL applies temporal analysis to detect whether a path is stable, improving, or degrading. In this run, 6 forecast evaluations were generated. This avoids routes that look good now but fail moments later. The phase 6, it shows a recommendations, corridor-aware output. In this run, SLIL did not return a safe recommendation. This is intentional behavior, not a failure. Based on current liquidity, volatility, and stability conditions, no path met the safety thresholds. In fact, in financial infrastructure, returning no recommendation is safer than returning a misleading one. SLIL improves Stellar by reducing failed payments, improving cross-border UX, and giving anchors and application visibility into corridor health. It adds predictive intelligence without centralization and without protocol changes. In this chart, SLIL makes Stellar payments not just fast but reliable. Thank you.